You are so strong that you bend the movement of stars to your will. You are so strong that a war is fought just to give you a warrior's death. You are so strong that someone has to destroy all of Caelid just to kill you. You are so strong that you still survive that. You are Star Scourge Radhan, the firstborn child of Radagon the Red and Queen Rennala of the Full Moon. Radhan was a big, muscular demigod, but he was a bit different. Unlike other demigods, he had a heart of gold, a warrior who would never bow down to a challenge and would look up to the first Elden Lord, Lord Godfrey, as his idol. Radhan was a peculiarity among his kins of demigods and legends. Not only was he strong with his prowess, said to be unmatched by anyone else, he was also a very kind man. A quality generally not associated with war and battle loving warriors. But Radhan was different. His kindness and gentle nature would even enchant Mikela the Kind, Radhan's Imperial half brother, who would see in him qualities worthy of a lord. When Radhan would grow a bit older, he would come across a horse named Leonard, a horse too thin and skinny to actually carry our big buff demigod, but nonetheless beloved and very close to the heart of the gentle Radhan. So he made up his mind and did what any normal demigod would do. He decided to learn gravity magic. Why? It is to make sure he can lessen the load of his massive body and continue riding his beloved horse. To learn this gravity magic, Radhan would move to a town in Caelid called Alia. During his stay at the town, our big red demigod would grow fond of this town, but he would be devastated to know that it was destined to be destroyed by a meteorite. Radhan would do what any normal demigod at his place would do. He would vow to avert this tragedy seemingly set in stone. How? You ask? By declaring the war on the stars itself. This conflict would later be known as the Star Scourge conflict. Radhan would save Caelia by conquering the stars itself and stopping their motion. But this would have another set of consequences. It would stall the fate itself, affecting the destiny of several other demigods. This would prevent Rani's destiny from coming forth. This would prevent Mikela's attempt of resurrection of Godwyn the Golden from succeeding. This would make Selen the Witch immortal, who is not a demigod, but I love her. Have you seen Selen? She looks fantastic. My bad. Let's not get distracted. And our demigod would henceforth be known as Star Scourge Radhan. But things were about to change. Assassination of Prince Godwyn the Golden would kickstart a chain of events which would lead to momentous change in the lands between. Queen Marika would shatter the Elden Ring. And shards from this shattering event would be then after be claimed by several demigods. Radhan would be one of those shard bearers. These shards of the Elden Ring would bestow great power to these demigods, but will also sow seeds of conflict. With newfound strength, all the shard bearers would have only one thing in their mind, which was to obtain the other great runes and unite the lands between under them, and would thus begin the shattering wars, plunging the lands between into chaos. As the war would reach its climax, only two shard bearers would be left standing: Malenia, Blade of Mikela, and Star Scourge Radhan. And soon the time would come when the two would finally meet each other in a battle, which would forever scar their battlefield, which would forever change the course of the lands between's history. Blade would clash, friends would fall, death and destruction would be all around, and in the end, Radhan would prevail and would overpower Malenia. Haters would say that the battle was a stalemate, but I would say it was pretty one sided, with Radhan having Malenia, who had never known defeat by the way, on the edge. Malenia, realizing she can in no way kill our red demigod, decided to do the unthinkable. She would unleash the Scarlet Rot as her last resort. The Scarlet Rot would ravage the caelid and would consume Radhan from inside out, but it will still not be enough to kill the mighty demigod. He would thereafter lose his mind to the rot, but would still roam the wailing dunes as a mindless beast, one who devours the flesh of friends and foes alike, howling at the moon, waiting for someone to put him out of his misery. Seeing the poor state of their commander, the Redman Knight and the Jaren would organize the Radhan festival
Champions! Welcome! The stars have aligned! The festival is nigh!
to celebrate his last battle. It was to be a gathering of mighty warriors who would finally put their beloved general to the rest, to end his misery. And during this festival, a tarnished of no renown would appear.